Hi, I am Acula. Tonight's story is inspired by true accounts, but the details have been creatively adapted for narrative effect. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Acula Files. This is a story about the deadly letters, my family's cursed mail. The air hung heavy in our family, thick with a secret woven into our very being. It wasn't a secret of whispered scandals or hidden treasures, but of death. For generations, we've lived with a peculiar tradition. A letter arrives a day before we die, detailing our demise. It sounds macabre, I know, yet we, the blood descendants, live surprisingly normal lives. But exceptions apply, of course. Those married into the family are not affected. They receive no letters and live a normal life. Though not always. My grandma got hers, and I'd never seen my grandpa so angry. My dad also received his, and I've never been so furious. But the kids in our family will, regardless, receive letters. They will all die eventually, and it will be written for them. Today, I got mine. I'm 28 years old. This morning, I woke up dreading the endless cycle. Now, I dread the fact that there will be no tomorrow. Because I will die, and it's written in the letter sitting beside me. Let me explain the letters. So long as you read yours when you receive it, you will die in a somewhat normal way. Not particularly painful, not particularly awful. My grandpa read his and died of a heart attack in his sleep at 87. He lived a good life. Despite the letters describing your death, most of us have normal deaths. I've been told about them my whole life, that no matter how old I am, I might receive one, and then I will die the next day. Thanks for ruining the first day of school, Mom and Dad. Nothing says existential dread like checking your mail and wondering if you'll die tomorrow. But that's our life. No one knows how or why it started, or why it won't end. The letters are a single piece of paper in a white envelope with a name on the front. No mailman delivers them. They simply appear in the mailbox or drop through the mail slot. They're addressed to whoever's name is written on the front, and by no means whatsoever should you read someone else's letter. Even those outside our bloodline must never read another's letter. Terrible things happen. You will receive your own letter immediately after reading someone else's, and your death will not be kind. It will be slow, painful. You wish for the death you read about. This rule is the most enforced. My cousin was tackled by my grandpa for almost opening my grandma's letter. Mom and Dad drilled this rule into our heads far more times than I can count, and they didn't shy away from examples. Decades ago, my mom, her twin brother Jake, and their older sister Stephanie were at the kitchen table with their parents. A single knock, then a letter slid onto the carpet. It was for Jake, then 10. Their parents told him to get it, open it, and read it to himself. He did, and started to cry. Despite the urge to know, everyone comforted him, preparing for the day to come by giving him the best last day they could. Everyone except Stephanie. For whatever bratty reason, she decided she would read the letter. While Grandpa ordered pizza and Grandma baked Jake's favorite cookies, my mom and Stephanie were to look after him. As they sat watching Jake's favorite TV show, Stephanie leaned over and whispered, "What did the letter say?" Jake turned red, his eyes tearing up. My mom shot Stephanie a look. "We're not supposed to know," she said. "So," Stephanie retorted. "Stephanie, stop," my mom said, standing up. Young as she was, she sensed the danger and went to grab the letter from the kitchen table before Stephanie could get her hands on it. The letter was gone. Her father had just returned with the pizzas when my mom asked where it was. He said he told Stephanie to put it in David's room. My mom turned to see Stephanie standing, holding the letter. "I know how David dies," she proudly proclaimed. As she said that, a loud crash erupted from the kitchen, followed by my grandma's scream. The kitchen window was shattered, glass covering the room. My grandma was bleeding from her eyebrow. A thick shard lodged under her skin. On the kitchen floor, covered in blood, was a letter addressed to Stephanie. No one knew what to do. Their parents fumed. Stephanie panicked, begging for forgiveness. My grandpa forced her to sit there until she read it. My grandma cried, begging him to let her go. My mom and Jake struggled to understand, but they knew Stephanie had to open the letter. She eventually did, crying the whole time, but falling silent after finishing. The despair in her eyes when she looked at my mom was a sight she'd never forget. My mom said the smell of freshly baked cookies had never felt so wrong. Jake went to sleep that night and never woke up. Stephanie went to sleep that night and was never found again. The only thing left of her was a pair of eyes sitting on the windowsill, staring at the branches outside. My mom couldn't remember if they even called the cops. Explaining everything without showing the letters would be hard, but she didn't think they even searched for her. She knew her sister had done wrong, but she was still family. One day, playing alone outside, my mom found bloody footsteps leading into the forest. She followed them. It was late, the sun setting, the warmth of the day replaced by the cold of night. Tree branches turned into arms reaching for her. Roots bit her feet with every step, but she kept following. Eventually, she stopped. The footsteps had stopped. She didn't look up. She didn't have to. Her sister's nightgown shone against the moonlight. Too scared to move, my mom felt the warm embrace of her sister's hug. She wrapped her arms around her sister, relief washing over her. She was alive. She was here. She was coming home. My mom buried her face against her sister's stomach. It was wet. She moved her head back. Red, deep, wet red covered her sister's clothes. She looked up. 2 streaks of dark blood ran from her sister's empty eye sockets, down her body to her feet. Stephanie smiled. My mom felt the deceit in her sister's arms and broke free, running as fast as she could. She had lost the trail, going further into the dark, hostile forest. She couldn't remember how far she'd gone or how long she was out there, just that she kept going, because she could hear her sister behind her, getting closer. She crashed through bushes, scraping her arms and knees. A large thorn bush covered her path, but she dove forward. Her sister's cries filling the air was the last thing she remembered before waking up in their backyard, the sun rising. She got up, went inside, into her room, and went to sleep. She woke again to her mother's scream. My mom was covered head to toe in thick thorns, each piercing her skin. Her parents had searched all night. They spent the whole day removing each thorn. My mom said that was the only time she ever saw my grandpa cry. She told them everything. My grandpa refused to believe her. She never forgave him for that. Hearing that story at 7 years old at your cousin's birthday party really leaves a mark. That mark has kept me from reading others' letters, so thanks, I guess. Our second rule: never destroy or throw away your own or someone else's letter before or after they've died. This one doesn't have horrible consequences, more a social aspect. Oh, he died in a slightly more horrible car crash. Must have been disrespectful against someone's letter. Oh, she didn't die immediately when the gun went off. Must have tried to destroy her own letter. No matter how many times you try to destroy it, the letter will reappear. Bottom line, respect your letter and respect others. Imagine staying at your grandpa's house, going to the movies for the first time, and before leaving, he pulls you aside to tell you this rule. Completely ruins a movie. Our family's a goddamn shit show sometimes. Another rule: you must read your letter once you receive it. Otherwise, you won't have such a nice death either. Other than knowing you're gonna die, the worst part is reading about it. A detailed description of your own death isn't alluring. So sometimes people don't. A few years back, my grandpa's brother and his wife were visiting their winter cabin, celebrating 40 years of marriage. Late that evening, a letter addressed to my grandpa's brother sat on the living room couch. Not wanting to bum out on one of the happiest days of his life, he decided not to read it, despite his wife's pleas. I guess he felt he'd lived a long, happy life and didn't want to ruin his last day. Who can blame him? After going to bed, his wife woke in the middle of the night to the sound of furniture scraping. She was about to investigate when the sound stopped, so she went back to sleep, figuring it was the old wooden house. She didn't check on her husband, who wasn't next to her anymore. When she woke and noticed he was gone, she went into the living room and screamed. The scene was worse than you could imagine. Her husband was nailed to the roof by his feet, hanging upside down, scraped fingertips barely touching the floor. Blood ran down his naked body from various holes, forming a pool below his head. Thick shards of wood pierced his fingernails and exited the tops of his fingers. His eyes were wide open, staring at the bedroom door. An investigation by officials led to nothing but suspicion of foul play from the wife. Everything was cleaned up, and sure enough, significant amounts of floor were missing from around where he had hung. It looked like he'd tried to claw his way towards the door. Did he try to reach his wife? Why couldn't she hear him? No one knew, no one asked, and no one dared to read his letter. All because he didn't read his letter. But what if his death was exactly that? He still died in that awful way. Would it have mattered if he read it? He would have just been bummed about becoming a human piñata, and definitely had his last day ruined. Am I really supposed to believe that if he had read the damn letter, he would have died of a heart attack in his sleep? So as far as family traditions go, Mine has a curse. My family's attempt at labeling our curse as a tradition and constantly reminding me of it has only served as a source of chronic anxiety. I can't really blame them, though. They just want a somewhat normal life for us, and we have to follow the rules to have that. There's only one obvious way to escape it. Stop having kids. But not everyone feels that way, so the curse lives on. I've never really wanted kids. I wouldn't want to put them through what I've had to go through. And I won't have to worry anymore. My entire life, I have feared the day I would receive my letter. But for once, I feel calm. I realize there's nothing left to do, nothing left to live for. I can do whatever I want. This has made me curious. My letter is sitting beside me. I haven't opened it yet. I'm not sure if I intend to, but it got me thinking. Since it's my last day alive, I don't have much to live for, and our curse is sure to kill me anyway. What would happen if I read someone's letter after they've died? This brings me to our family's fourth rule. Never read someone's letter after they've died. It's their letter and their letter only, even in death. But I've never heard of any family member actually doing it. I've never asked either, but the other rules and their consequences have been explained to me in detail since I gained consciousness. This is due partly to my grandpa and his predecessors. After someone has died, we put their letter in a chest. It's an old, black wooden casket that stores all our family's letters. It's guarded with a single key and belongs to the oldest son currently alive in the family. My dad just so happened to pass away a few months back. He had a tumor in his brain that was slowly eating away at him. I visited him one day and was greeted with a letter on the nightstand beside his bed. He was far gone in the head, but I wasn't prepared for him to have forgotten our curse. As I sat down and explained he had to read his letter, he asked why. I told him it was a love letter from his wife. Can you imagine his joy and the way his eyes lit up when he said, "I have a wife"? He opened the letter, read it, looked at me with seething anger, and asked why I would do this to him. I couldn't help but cry. He told me to leave. He said he never wanted to see me again. My own dad. I know I was trying to save him from an unimaginable death, but I couldn't help but feel ashamed for putting him through that. That's when I swore to never have kids. I wasn't going to put my own kids through something like that. So eventually, I got the key from my dad's belongings. He had left it to me in his will. Now that I'm going to die, I have to give it to my brother. He already has kids. He's had a good life. He'll be inheriting the key to our family's secrets, but not before I've uncovered them first. The chest is currently sitting at my grandpa's house, which my dad inherited. Now it's empty. Right now, I'm sitting in the kitchen I used to run around in as a kid whenever my siblings and I visited our grandparents. I swear, I only ever saw my grandpa happy when he was looking through his mail. I managed to pull down the chest from the attic. It took me long enough. It's heavy as shit. I opened it to find at least 100 letters. So many generations of my family inside a single box. It would be impossible to find the oldest one, if there even is, and there are no dates on these. Even stranger, they all looked the same. None looked older than the other. Some were covered with dark spots, elegantly placed so as not to cover up the name. But other than that, they all looked brand new. No discoloring of the paper, all sporting a beautiful paper white. It took some digging, but so far I'm pretty sure I've found my grandma's, my mom's siblings, my grandpa's brother S, and my dad's. I've already read them all. I know I shouldn't have, but I had to know. I'm reading mine. I'm sure I'll find the answer I've been looking for there, but I'm not sure I want to know anymore. I'll transcribe the letters here in the order I read them. Read at your own risk. My grandma's letter, Janine. Nothing but a righteous woman. You have lived your life to the fullest of your capabilities. I have watched you for long, so pure of heart. Stop while you still can. You deserve nothing short of a warm embrace. You will go to sleep tonight, and you won't wake up. You will live on in your next life, and you will be happy. I'll make sure you're happy, my child. My grandpa's letter, Dave. You're a strong man. You would do anything to keep your family safe. Such a shame about the tragedy that befell your daughter. I never wish for my children to leave their life in such a painful matter. I won't forgive you. I will punish you. But you did what you could. She got what she deserved. You will meet your wife and your son soon, but I'll keep your daughter. She belongs to me. My mom's brother's letter, Jake. Such a beautiful boy. You had your whole life ahead of you. You wanted to become an astronaut. So pure and innocent. Unlike your sister, she will read this because she is selfish, because he thinks he deserves more. You will go to sleep, and you will have a beautiful dream that goes on forever. Your sister will walk out into the forest. She will die a slow and painful death for what she's done. I must punish my children. She deserves it. My mom's sister's letter, Stephanie. There are those whose teeth are swords, whose fangs are knives, to devour the poor from off the earth, the needy from mankind. My child, you have become vile, your soul tainted, your eyes prey on weakness now. But you are young, ignorant. You deserve everything that's coming for you. I have to set you on the righteous path. But rest assured, you will not be safe, for I won't be the one collecting you. My grandpa's brother's letter, John. You've been a good man your whole life. Why waste it on such an unimportant cause? What made you think you were entitled to something more than others? You're gonna read this because you wanted to, because you thought you had to know. He will suffer because of it. John will slowly fade away, but I'll only let him go when I say so. It's all your fault. Finally, my dad's letter, Michael. I am sorry for you, my child. He lies to you. He will not keep them safe. He will open it up. He will taint your family with his hands. He lies because he thinks you are gone. He lies because he thinks you deserve more. You don't. None of you do. You are all my children, but you all belong to me. I will take care of you, but I will not take care of him. I will cause him pain. I will keep him alive. Forever. It's time. Go ahead. Open your letter, Chris. My letter, Chris. I am so sorry, my child. But the man standing behind you will take you away now. Goodbye. If you found this chilling, terrifying, or just plain messed up, then you need to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Share this with someone who loves a good scare. And don't forget to comment below what you think about my family's cursed mail. Until next time, if there is a next time for me, stay safe and check your mailbox very, very carefully.